We got Zach Hugh on the right and Lizzell on the left. Your Coach Roach will be in, and we'll bring in Coach Holtmann after that.
Zeb, can you take us through what was said in the huddle when there's 3.2 seconds left there, and then what you're trying to get out of that and what you saw?
It was Coach was saying be poised and run the play. Don't get rattled, and we executed and led to a big shot. And Malachi made that great pass. And led to me game-winning layup. And without that pass, I don't know what would happen, but Malachi, that was a big moment for Malachi, and I applaud him. Man. He's really good.
What does it feel like to make a basket like that to save the win in a season opener?
It was exciting. I couldn't breathe. I was on the court. I couldn't breathe. Like, when we got to the huddle, I was like, I've been ready. I couldn't breathe like the whole thing. But it was really exciting. Thankful, and yeah, exciting. I still can't breathe.
DJ, how do you think the fans will look at this game?
What is that?
I said, how do you think your fans will look at this result? A 1-point win over Akron in the season opener.
Yeah, they said we started off the season with a heart attack. I'm pretty sure they said that. But, season opener, got a lot of new guys. They shouldn't look at this as like a downfall or like a bad thing. We fought through adversity. It came earlier in the season than we expected. But, we're just going to come out next game, get better, and learn from this one.
Described what you were hoping not to do and what ended up happening on the last Akron possession.
Yeah, he made a great shot. I wasn't intentionally trying to foul him or anything, but, he made a great shot. So.
EJ, you come out of the game for basically 5 minutes, and then they can't score, basically, without you on the floor. And then obviously it happens again when you foul out. Are you nervous at all about where the offense is going to go when you come off the floor out?
No, I know what the guys can do, really. We just got to get a rhythm. When I'm off the floor, I feel like we got to communicate more since I'm one of the leaders. I feel like all the other leaders, the captains got to step up. I know Kyle's out right now, so he's a big piece of all that. But, we just got to step up, honestly. Communicate and just do what we do.
I think in the first half, there was a point where I think you had like 8 straight points. It looked like you were trying to be aggressive. Did you kind of feel where the game was going and felt like you needed to kind of assert yourself a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. I probably would have made a free throw. I would have had more points, and that game wouldn't have been this close. But, I felt like I got to step up in those moments. I know Coach Holtmann said if I want to be one of the best players in the nation, I got to play with effort, and that's where that came from. So.
You mentioned the free throws, 4 for 8. It seemed like the only spot that you were really good tonight.
Yeah, Shaq, my favorite big man for a reason. Yeah, you do have a point.
You guys, both halves, but especially the second half, started slow offensively. The other teams got going. What did you have to do better there? I know you haven't seen film yet, but just from being out there, what do you feel like wasn't happening early in both halves?
I don't think. I think we weren't getting the team's best shot. It was a lot of isolation, I feel, and we weren't hitting shots. And on the other hand, we weren't getting stops. So that's a bad combination. So, I think that's really what I saw, and we just need to calm down and be more poised in the half, and and win our sets.
Now, you said it. You weren't expecting adversity this soon, and I know the past is the past. Did you allow yourself to think about Oral Roberts and what happened then and what was happening on the court?
No, obviously, I can't lie and say I forgot that. I don't think anybody's forgotten that. But Coach told us Akron was a really good team. They were really good in their conference last year, and he said they were going to be even better this year. So we didn't come out and take anyone lightly. Like I said, we fought through adversities there, made a big play, stayed poised. But we just got to build off this and learn.
See Malachi kind of step up there to get you that pass there at the end. For a freshman, right? Did he adapt quickly? Did he step up when he needed to lose that freshman title? I guess. How did he step up?
He made really good, big plays. He had a couple of tough buckets down the stretch. Wasn't turning the ball over. He didn't look scared. He looked like he belonged out there. So, I praise him for that. So, he made a great pass and didn't turn the ball over. So, he's a really good player. I've been telling people that he's going to shock a lot of people this year. He's a really good player.
EJ, for you, when you've done as much as you've done in that game, and then you have to watch those last 6 seconds, what was that like for you having to rely on your teammates to find a way to get it done?
I just knew we was gonna pull it out. I mean, I was on the sideline like, damn, I just fouled on the 3-point shot. Like, can't let that happen. But I knew the guys we had out on the floor was gonna make a good decision. Coach was gonna make the right call, and they executed well. We've been working on execution and situation things like that all the time in practice. So.
Not with Justice, he didn't seem like himself, and I know he's been dealing with the injury. But what did you see him? How did you see him out there? And how has he been limited in practice? What's he doing?
Yeah, I mean, he took a minute off because after that last game he played last season, he was trying to recover from the injury the whole time. I don't know if many people saw, but like during timeouts, he would have like a hot pack on his groin. But right now he's still recovering. He's just got to get back in the rhythm, get back in the flow, and he'll be back soon. So,
Guys, can you speak to just the energy of having a win like this in front of fans in a regular season game for the first time now? I guess it's 600 and some odd days. Just what that moment and that energy felt like.
Yeah, it was crazy for me. This is my first time being the fans, and it was a great feeling. To hear people screaming and cheering when you hear the shot. I loved it. And I'm glad the fans are back. So, you got anything to add on that?
No, same. I was happy a whole bunch of fans was back, see a lot of faces. I like how they created energy for us as well. So.
They say it's better to learn from a win than a loss. I assume you guys feel that way right now, but what are the things that you mentioned you have to improve? What are the things you feel like you need to work on the most as a team right now?
Just being more connected. Everybody who steps on the floor, guys who come off the bench, is being connected. And I feel like that's all we got to really work on, even on the offense end, just being connected, getting in the flow and the rhythm. But when it isn't easy, we got to win. Shout out to Zed, but yeah. So.
What was it you talk about being more connected, and you talk about being poised in big minutes. What were timeouts like down the stretch there when you guys are talking, you're huddling up? I know, EJ, you're one of the captains, and you have 4 captains on the team. What were those huddles like? Were guys calm? Was there a lot of conversation? What were those moments like?
No, we was calm. We got in the huddle, locked up around Coach Holtmann, wrapped the arm around the guy who was just listening, locked in. Like I said, winning is easy. Execute plays, do tough things. We got to always do tough things. So,
Do you feel like, adversity unites a team, especially when it comes early on like this?
oh yeah, for sure. During the whole time, I mean, we want things like this. We want to face adversity right now so we can learn from these things and just keep moving forward. So, I mean, I'm happy it came earlier in the season. A win is a win. We're going to learn from this.
Seemed like there was a concentrated effort tonight to try and get the ball down low, go to you guys specifically. Is that a result of having young and new faces at guard, or was that just something you were taking what the game was giving you?
Felt like the 4-5 combo, me at the 4, Zed at the 5, really is tough to guard. High low passes, all that type of stuff. They said if we get it in there, it's going to open up a lot of more stuff. So him posting up as hard as he did helped my drives most of the time. Me posting up helped him get offensive rebounds and things of that sort. So I feel like working off of each other is going to be big this season. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
instructions well.
Yeah, you just
Good to see some familiar faces. Obviously we're disappointed. Thought we played well enough to win. I feel for our guys. I thought we played with a lot of toughness. I thought our teamism was excellent. Unfortunately, some execution things at the end of the day. It's a 1-point game. I just told them in the locker room, the intentional foul, we didn't need it. Technical foul, we didn't need it. Kid's kicking himself for the busted switch there on the last play. It's one play. There's, I don't know how many possessions. I haven't computed it yet, but there's usually probably in that game tonight somewhere around 70 on defense and 70 on offense. 140 plays you're trying to make. I think guys and gals in your shoes, and I just told them this, often focus on the last play. Obviously you don't want to give up a layup. I had two thoughts going through my mind when I thought about this is the second time we've coached against each other, and the last time we just won in Maui and we're undefeated, nationally ranked, and he's at Gardner Webb, and they outplayed us. And our guy makes a last-second shot to win the game in Champaign. So the favor got returned today, unfortunately for us. But then someone asked me after the game, did you think about playing a different defense? And that reminded me of another game. It's amazing when you coach 25 years how you just start having flashbacks to other games. And I remember one time we tried to play, I think it was maybe Michigan, the Big Ten tournament. We had played really well. They were the 1 seed, came back, took the lead. It's the last possession. And we played man, and they scored. Someone asked me, hey, do you wish you'd played zone? I said, well, I do now. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? And you can always critique all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm really proud of how our guys competed, the toughness that they showed, the teamism that we had. We just got to clean a few things up. I think we have a chance to be pretty good, but, we haven't proven that we can do that every day in practice or certainly in every game. I didn't think we were great in our private scrimmage. I didn't think we were very good in the first half. Certainly West Virginia had a lot to do with that in the exhibition game. I thought the second half we played great. And I thought today for the majority of the game here we played really well. So we'll have to clean up a few things, obviously from an execution perspective. And I think the guys, the newcomers, and then the guys that are now playing new roles from previous years, this will get them to understand how important it is to talk on a switch, set a screen at the right angle, make sure you have poise and composure, that, the margin for error is so small. And so hopefully we'll learn that. We got a long season. I told them there's 30-some games to go, Lord willing. And, we've got to make sure we respond from this one the right way, that we learn from it, and that we get better because of it. Questions?
You've got a long history in this building.
Yeah.
Good moments. I wonder, would you count this your toughest loss in this building?
Loss-wise, I'd say probably so. Yeah, it's disappointing, right? I mean, now we can choose whether to allow it to, knock us down and not get up or get frustrated. There's a huge difference between, I explained this to them, between disappointment and frustration. I think disappointment, they should be disappointed. I told them after the game, I get it, I understand. But, once you get frustrated because of it, I think then, Bruce, that's when, you don't allow it to be a learning experience at that point, and then a frustrated student athlete and a frustrated team becomes a poor performing one. So we don't want to let it go there, but obviously we're disappointed, it's a tough one. But I am glad to see, and I thought coming into it, the capability our team had to play and to play well, it was good to see that kind of come to fruition. We did a lot of really good things that I think we can build upon if we approach this the right way.
When you're playing a team and it's the first game and you're obviously doing a little bit of projecting when you're scouting, did you think you'd be able to affect their guards as well as you did?
Great question, and then a great kind of intro to that with, you're right, I've got one film, UIndy, they had one, West Virginia, so that part makes it challenging. You're trying to look a little bit from last year, and then they're trying to look a little bit from last year. And then you never know. I mean, familiarity with having coached with each other and play calls being called the same and tendencies and all that, that certainly can help them and us a little bit probably, in terms of having a feel for that. But, at the end of the day, your players got to make some plays, right? And give them credit. They made a big one on the last play. Ali made a big shot on the one right in front of our bench. I thought it was a great game for him from the standpoint of, he played at a pretty high level throughout. Hopefully he uses that as to garner some confidence. Thought Walton did some good things as well. We had some guys that didn't play up to their capabilities, and we'll have to figure out how to help them more and get them to do that.
Chris told us yesterday that when you schedule these games, it sounds great. And then when you're actually coaching against someone as close as you guys are, it's tough because you care about the person. I'm just curious your perspective. You said you're disappointed with the result, but from a personal standpoint.
Yeah,
Chris.
well, this one's a little different. Bruce mentioned it. Obviously haven't been here. You walk in for the shoot around, you look at the banners. I just got done seeing John Diebler, Ron Lewis, Solinger, Dials came to shoot around, Odin came to shoot around. It's different. That's one. Two, our former coach, Paul Patterson, passed in late September, and he had a big influence on both Chris and I. I know he's smiling down tonight, his and Chris's smile is probably a little wider than mine, but, we're two of his pupils, from Taylor University in Upland, Indiana, coaching on opening night, November, whatever this is right now. What is it, Bruce, the 9th? On national television. I know he's proud. Hopefully we made him proud by how our teams played from an effort, toughness, teamism standpoint, all the things that he taught us. So that made the game a little bit more special. Ironically, we were supposed to play the game last year, but COVID kind of affected that. Now it ends up maybe the Lord had a plan there, knew that the timing needed to be this year, so we could honor him. We did that before the game with a pretty good Akron, Ohio State, and Taylor contingent up in the practice gym. That was pretty neat to do that. And then obviously all of us, and Chris and I decided to wear the Alzheimer's pins. It's really interesting as you study it. Brad Stevens brought this up at one point, and it kind of caught me he's right. If you look at the coaches in our profession that have dealt with some type of Alzheimer's or dementia to some degree, some of the legends of the game. And then my grandfather, who everyone tells me is just a great man. I never really knew him other than when he had Alzheimer's. And when my mom would see him, he didn't even know at times his daughter's name. And it's really it's a disease that I know they're trying to fight, the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association, and trying to find a way to do, more research, find ways to combat it. So we wanted to, do something tonight because obviously over the last 1.5 to 2 years, Coach Patterson fought that. So that was important to us tonight. So, it's one of those games where if you say, it's just, you try to go coach. Yeah, it was just another game. The next game on our schedule, it was not. Let's be honest, it wasn't. It's the opener. We wanted to honor Coach Patterson. We wanted to try to take a swing and see if some way, in small way, we can continue to help the awareness associated with Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm back here. This place always has been a lot to me and my family. My son was born at OSU Med. That was one of the greatest days of my life. So, there are a lot of special memories, moments here, people that you get to see. It was great to see a lot of familiar faces, even the ushers and the people in the building. It's some of them have been here for a while, and I really appreciate them as well. It was great to see them today.
Obviously, EJ kind of had his way out there when he was on the floor, but I think those 5 minutes when he was off the floor, when you guys were on that run, did you defensively kind of tell Ohio State was struggling offensively and you had a chance to make something happen there?
We just tried to play with some purpose, obviously, and obviously he's a big difference maker, as you just alluded to, right? You look at his stat line, I thought he was a load today. The place, I think, when you look at it, you can nitpick little things here and there, but I think the one part that really got us was the offensive glass. Now, ironically, we got our fair share on the offensive glass. We did a good job there, but we didn't do a very good job keeping them off the backboard, spearheaded by Liddell. And we just played West Virginia, who's been in the top 10 in the country for 5 straight years in offensive rebounding, and did a good job of keeping them off the glass. And today we didn't get the job done there. I thought that was the biggest difference in the game. There was a 17, is that what it was? Yeah, 17 offensive rebounds. That's way too many. And even if you look at it from a percentage standpoint, which we tend to do, 20 out of 37, I mean, you're talking somewhere close to 50% back. You know, they got just under 50% back. That's like, you're not going to win very many games when that happens. And Liddell, obviously, with his 7 of those 17 was a huge factor.
John, when you've got a guy like Liddell that's so much above the rest of the guys they have, seemingly, does that make it easier or harder to coach when you're just focusing on a guy that's all that?
Well, obviously, they've got some other pieces, and I think they're young guys. I'm familiar with some of those guys. They're going to keep getting better, you know, with experience, practices, games, all that stuff, because they do such a good job of coaching them. But obviously, he's a load. What makes him unique is that he's an inside-out guy. Like, you have to guard him on the perimeter. He can hurt you from 3. He can hurt you driving the ball. He can hurt you on the glass. His free throw rate is high. And then, you know, in an age where everyone kind of picks on the mid-range shot, he is very efficient with that shot, which is a little bit of an outlier. And so that makes him even more difficult to defend.
All right, Coach, thank you. We appreciate it.
No, thank you, guys. Great seeing everybody.
Holtmann out of the way.
All right, good to be with everybody. First of all, I want to give Akron a lot of credit. I thought they played like we thought they would. John's teams competed at a really high level. Obviously, coaching with him, I know how detailed he is and how he and his staff prepare those guys. I thought the staff was, they were extremely well prepared. Obviously, they knew some of our tendencies because of how close we are. We knew some of theirs. Some of their additions made some key plays. They've got a kid that started at Missouri and then played at Ball State, who's a really good player, had a really good game for them. But I thought give them a lot of credit. Listen, I thought we had a game full of some pretty, some really good moments from some of our guys. Really good moments. And I thought we were tested like, you're always, when you schedule, you're always, you got a new backcourt, you got some young guys, and you really do debate in the offices on whether or not you want to play a quality mid-major like this, and in the first couple games. I think if we'd have lost, I'd have, probably questioned myself in a lot of ways. So I'm glad Malachi made that decision.
Chris, you know what you have in EJ. What were you looking for from the other guys, hoping to see? Did you see it tonight?
I think I see glimpses of it. I see glimpses of it. We're still with Justice on the mend. He just, guys, he just doesn't, he's not the same player right now. He will get there. He's just not there right now, and it shouldn't be expected. And I'm not going to go into great detail. I think he'll get there. He's just not there right now, and it's not the kid's fault. He's trying. But we really need him. But without him, without Dwayne and Kyle and CJ, we're searching a little bit for some other guys, to just be real honest. And I thought we had some guys show glimpses of really good plays.
I know the pass is dead and buried. Did Oral Roberts at all creep in the final moments or anywhere?
No, I think to be honest with you, we'll own that. We'll own that experience and what happened. You really just try to stay in the moment in those situations.
Chris, you sort of touched on the guard play, but you told us already you needed more from Jamari offensively. He obviously took a while to get anything going. Michi had his moments, but had some other moments. We talked about him.
Yeah.
Specifically those two, what progression do they need to make to avoid a performance like this, where clearly you could have used them to put some up?
I just think it's a work in progress right now. Michi had some really good moments. I thought he was able to get to the rim a few times, made 4 free throws. He's going to be, I believe, if he just commits to getting better, he's going to be a different player in January. I really believe that with him. He just has to stay with it. There's going to be games like this. Same thing with Jamari. Jamari's still kind of figuring out what all, our expectations are for him offensively. I thought the ball found him a little bit too much late in the clock. And we've got to clean that up with him, with Jamari. But again, I've been trying to tell you guys, and maybe I haven't been as honest as I need to, but, with a new backcourt and with some young pieces and without some we're a work in progress. We are. But I don't want to take anything away from Akron's performance either. But clearly, we're a work in progress.
You always would rather learn from a win, I imagine. What are maybe the biggest takeaways you take out of this one?
I think our physicality needs to get better, particularly on the glass. I think that needs to get a lot better. I think there were some plays defensively where we left our feet too much. We were undisciplined, and that's on me. Obviously, the 4-point play, we could have handled that a little bit better. They're late, but I thought EJ was a warrior all night. But we definitely could have handled that better.
EJ was pretty quality from everywhere, but the free throw line, which he was in here kicking himself about. Given all the extra stuff that you guys got, Kyle out, Seth is out, Justice is clearly not himself out there, the new backcourt, is he just going to have to do this until guys come along for the ride and some of these guys get healthy? Is he just going to have to?
I think he's going to have to perform at a really high level, like one of the best players in the country, because that's what I believe he will be. But he's got to listen. EJ's had a really good. He's had a good offseason. He had a good preseason. He's been involved in every practice. He's been one of our hardest workers in every practice. You don't get 25 and 11 just by rolling out and being a talented kid. He has earned that by his work in the preseason. And I think that's what gets lost on kids today right now. Like EJ Liddell is a really talented kid, but he earned the right to play well tonight. He's been our hardest worker since he decided he was going to come back. He's been our hardest worker. He and Justin Arntz. They've been our hardest and most consistent workers. So he's earned the right. Now he's got to go perform 25 and 11. But you don't get that if you don't come every day and work and give yourselves the opportunity to earn that. So I'm proud of the kid because I talked about his motor at the exhibition. I thought it could get better than, because I've seen it be better in practice, but I'm proud, and we'll see. I think we'll get better performances from guys, but certainly we're going to need him to be at his best until some guys get healthy.
Those 5 minutes when he's on the bench because he's got 3 fouls and you're doing what you got to do there.
Yeah.
Were you kind of searching for offense at that point and trying to figure it out?
I was searching for lineups and for offense because normally that would be like a guy like Justice would now come in and, I think I'm going to be searching some. And I'm just, in this situation this year, I think there'll be early in the season, I'm going to be, we put we put the ball in the hands of a freshman, and I probably didn't anticipate doing that as much late, as much as we did. But I thought he made good decisions.
Decision that he made on that final possession to get the ball to Zed. What were you looking for in that play? Was the ball supposed to get to Malachi at that point in the court and you had to make a decision?
Yeah, that was exactly it. And I give Michi a lot of credit. I don't know if I said this, for a speed dribble. And Ryan Peden's idea to get it to half court and call a timeout, I thought it was a great suggestion by Ryan Peden because we were debating. We had a full court action and play that we were prepared to run, and he said, let's get it to half court and call a timeout, and I give him a lot of credit for that. And our guys executed that perfectly, just perfectly.
When you have a guy that's playing in his first game and you're putting the ball in his hands in that moment and having him make a decision, what did you see from him in practice that has told you he's capable of doing the right thing here? There's not someone else that would be better in this moment.
Yeah, we've seen glimpses of that with Malachi. We have. And we've talked as a coaching staff that the ball may need to be in his hands some late, particularly as Justice gets healthy and healthier. But I think Michi's going to have some of those moments as well. Obviously, EJ. But we have seen some glimpses of good decision-making, ability to play out ball screens. And as much as anything, Adam, in those situations, you're looking for guys that can get to their spots against physical pressure, and he can get to his spots pretty well.
I was going to ask about Malachi as well. I mean, in those moments, in those big late moments where he was relied on, I mean, how did he respond? How did he seem to you? Was he nervous? Was he stressed, or was he just kind of in the moment?
He don't seem real nervous, ever. So he just doesn't. He seems kind of the same. My biggest thing with Malachi right now is he can get on himself too much and he can hang his head when he makes mistakes. But I haven't seen a whole lot of nerves from him.
It seems like, especially with, Zed stepping up for 6 of the final 8 points. You said you want to see an increased physicality there in the paint, but, is it kind of a good start for him, or what do you want to see from Zed kind of building off this one?
I thought Zed was really good with the exception of the first 4 minutes. I thought the first 4 minutes of the second half, he was really bad, and he's got to be better with that. But I thought outside of that, he was really good.
Can you take me through the range of your emotions in that last 30 seconds? You're up by 3, and then Ali hits the huge 3 with the 4-point play, and then Zed obviously winning it.
Yeah, as much as possible, you're trying to stay in the moment because it's the next play. But, they had, I think, 2 4-point plays, didn't they? Did they bank in a 3? I can't remember if they banked in a 3. I know they had a couple dance around and go in. I think you just gotta, you're trying to stay in the moment and figure out what your team needs next. And that was the biggest thing is, okay, what's our team need now? How can we put them in the best positions, down 1, 6 seconds on the clock. Because if you let your emotions get in the way, it'll affect your thinking.
Sure. And with the way the season ended last year, especially, how important was it to come out with a win?
Yeah, I think a lot's made of that, guys. And listen, I'm not saying, I've talked about owning that, but if we'd have lost this game, I don't think we're looking at a trend or a pattern. Listen, we've played in 3 NCAA tournaments since we've been here. We performed pretty well in 2 of them. So I think that'll follow us. We'll have to answer it the next time if we earn the right to play in that thing.
John talked about the emotions of this game and spending time with you and the Taylor contingent beforehand, and obviously wearing the pins. There's a lot more to this game than just the game itself. What was it like for you, I guess, getting through it, coaching against John, thinking about Taylor people and everything?
Yeah. I just, John's a dear friend, and I would have loved to have Coach here tonight.
Changing the topic, the smile on Zed's face, he talked about not being able to breathe when he made that bucket. He said he still hadn't breathed when we saw him. When you see a guy that's been through some of the battles that he's been through in the last year and a half, what's it like to see a reaction like that from a player?
Yeah, I was really happy for Zed because we coach Zed hard because we believe he has a lot of potential and he can get a lot better. And like challenging him in those first 4 minutes, he's got to get better. But he loves Ohio State. He loves wearing the scarlet and gray. He's a tremendous kid, and I'm happy for him. I really am. I'm happy to see a sophomore have a moment like that. And hopefully, he pointed at a pretty good passer. He nearly knocked over Justin in celebration and dislocated his shoulder, but so be it.
Coach,
Finish up with 2 more, Adam, and then Bruce. Obviously, you
probably didn't want as tight of a game tonight, but how cool was that back in the shot, back with Buckeye Nation, the Nut House right behind you?
Yeah, I'd love to be able to just say a shout out to the Nut House and the students because I thought they carried us. Their energy was phenomenal. So big shout out to the Nut House, to our students. They were loud. We needed them. Again, we expected a great challenge. Certainly, we all, I think if you expect easy in this game, really in anything at a high level, if you expect easy, then you're probably not prepared to do this. So we knew it was going to be a challenge. Obviously, we got to get a lot better. But our students were phenomenal. Everybody who came, I don't want to just say the students because I let everybody who came brought great energy. I'm sure it was probably a little more exciting than everybody would have liked for it to be, but we'll learn from it.
With all the new pieces, I'm sure you have concerns going in or curiosities going in. Was scoring high on that list?
Not really. Not really, Bruce. I've not felt like that's going to be as much of an issue as maybe it was for us tonight. But I think in my mind, I'm thinking of our team a little bit like, completely healthy. And I don't want to keep saying that, but I think I was, I'm thinking that. And I just think we'll get better production from some of our guards than what we got tonight. But I've not thought that was going to be as big of an issue, but we'll see.
So how hard is it to
figure that out on the fly with a lot of guys who you could say, because of their experience level, deserve minutes, but to play them all and kind of figure it out, you might lose a game in the course of searching for that. You know what I'm saying?
I think we could. Yeah, I think we could with some of our new pieces, and until we get healthy, I think it's possible. I hope not. But this is about what can we be come January and February and March. Certainly, I didn't want to lose this particular game. But we've got some really tough ones coming up, and And, certainly there's real potential for that. But I just, one of our core values is gratitude. We want to have gratitude for every experience we go through, and we want to process that and learn from it. And, good or bad, we're going to be grateful for it and try to process what we need to do to move forward and get better in the next time we come out. And that's, win or lose, that's what we would have been tonight.
But one final one, Brendan in the back.
Just want to ask about, the idea of winning a close, tough, tight game like this early in the season. I know you've got some young guys, I know you've got some experienced but new to the program players. As you reflect back on your coaching career, you think about early season, grinded out, tough wins, and how it can kind of set the standard for what is to come. Does this bring back memories of things that you've been through before?
I haven't had too many games like this early in the season that are this dramatic. We did at Butler win at the buzzer against Northwestern. Ironically, a freshman made a pivotal play in that game as well. I don't know at the end of the day. I believe that was I think that was our Sweet 16 team. I don't, at the end of the day, I'm not sure what that does for you. I do think good can come from it. But honestly, good could have come from a loss too. I want us to be able to process this where we can get better, learn from it, move on. But I do think there's an energy when you win a game like that early in the year that is a good thing for your program.
Coach, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys.